different format, which we'll get into on another time, but the women will be playing 2 out of 3 sets.
Okay, and we're going to call Charlie is the preferred name for Charlotte. So
Okay.
we will now refer to her
As
as
Charlie.
Charlie going forward in this match.
Easy.
Delmonico. On the outside from New York, Gebbia. To my right, playing on the deuce side, I think, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Brett Davis. Did I get it? Deuce side, great. And on the outside from New York, Charlie Tansill. Davis Tansill on the spin. They will serve.
So real fast, Billy, the draw for this event, the winner of this match, who do they get?
The winner of this match will play the winner of Lopez and Page versus Prendergast and Zink.
Prendergast Inc., one of our winningest teams of all time on the women's side, still out here, battling it out in quarterfinal action to kick off the season, which is great.
It is fantastic to see them out here.
Okay, and then the bottom half of the draw, what are our potential matchups there?
At the top half of that draw is Bukian and Mihailovic, who will be taking on Alexandra and Lalich. And the other quarterfinal is Nkube Townsend, who will be playing Morgan and Sikora.
Okay, and we have a lot of courts being streamed today, so if you get tired of listening to us, you can go on to YouTube, go to the APTA channel, and you'll see all the quarterfinals should be shown.
That's great to have all 4 courts streamed.
Lot of talent in this draw. We saw Michelle Nube. She was a newbie last year. She played in this tournament, I believe, or Macy Elliott played one tournament with her. And you see Macy Elliott here. She was the tournament number 3 seed, played with Doniker, and they were bumped out by this team of Davis and Tansill. So great win for Davis and Tansill. And welcome to paddle. Doniker just got her intro to APTA Tour action, and she's fairly new and inexperienced. So she is an assistant pro here at Montclair Golf Club and works for Mick Erdoya and has a ton of potential. And so Macy is playing a couple matches with her today to bring her along really fast.
That's great. It's good to get your feet wet in this sport, and it's not an easy game to learn. So I'm sure she'll get a lot of great experience today playing with Macy. Big win by Davis and Tansill, though. On paper, you never know what happens.
Exactly. So Davis and Tansill, they play out of Westside Tennis Club together?
And that's down in Philadelphia area?
No, I believe Westside Tennis is a New York
Oh,
club.
wow.
Yeah, they're Westside.
Misinformed.
And actually, I didn't realize Westside Tennis had paddle courts. They have 3 paddle courts. Well, this is going to be, like I said, Delmonico, Gebbia, huge favorites, but that's why they play.
Looks like Charlie, the lefty, will start the serve.
So Charlie's last name is?
Tansill.
Okay. See, I'm learning as we're going here, Billy.
So am I.
Delmonico Gebbia won the toss and elected to return. Put a little pressure right away on the newbies on the stream out here.
That's right, and I think they also kind of put themselves on the side where Tansill and Davis will be looking at the sun first, especially when you're serving to the ad court like that.
But that's the advantage of having a lefty.
Makes it a little easier.
You put that lefty over on that side where they're looking up and, away from the sun. That's a pretty big advantage. We don't see that many female lefty players. We have a ton of great lefty players in the men's game, very few in the women's game. A little bit of soft hands, nice little
Nice touch volley there.
touch volley. That's Lauren Gebbia about to crush a return out of that ad court.
Black court.
Next up is the return from Delmonico, a very different speeds at which they hit their returns, Billy, which makes it it's kind of tough to get into a volley tempo as a server sometimes when you have real different speeds coming your way on those returns.
You can see even Carrie Delmonico lobbed that return. She takes such a short backswing, it's hard to see what's coming. She can chip it low, play it with a little more pace, or then send up that lob down the line over the net player.
She's got some deceit, Billy, in her game. Her short preparation allows her to really pull the trigger at the last second, and she is a real good tactician on the court, observes her partners, and because of that short backswing and her good hands and anticipation, she can recognize openings that are kind of there, a little movement from the net player, and take advantage of it.
Extremely effective with that short backswing.
You see her way over in the middle, really giving up the wide return, serve. And Billy, important for Davis and Tansill to feel like they're in this match. You know, it's a little intimidating. They've probably seen Delmonico, Gebbia play matches for years on the live stream. They've really been one of our longtime running teams. They've typically been top 5 in the rankings.
A lot of experience together, Delmonico and Gebbia have. That's a big hold by Tansill to, you know, get a deep breath and realize, hey, here we are. I don't know how many times they've played on a live stream match either. That probably adds to a bit of the pressure.
Never.
Right.
So it's kind of a fun thing when they walk in and we say, hey, I'm Patty. This is Billy, and you're going to be on the live stream. And it's kind of fun to watch the reactions. These guys were thrilled with the opportunity. It's Gebbia serving.
We should point out that Tansill is a lefty playing in the ad court. Forehand is on the outside, not on the inside.
Let it go!
You'll hear a lot of that. Delmonico is kind of the captain on the court. She,
Clear call.
yes.
15-30.
All right, Gebbia kind of going big on her serve at the beginning. I like it.
It's just hard to see into that sun, I think, on this side. Makes that hold by Tansill early on maybe even more important. That's just a hands battle that you probably don't want to engage in too often with Lauren Gebbia.
Right. I think that
Big forehand.
I'll say.
Davis, Tansill, they lead 2 games to love. First set.
So it's interesting that Gebbia served first for Delmonico Gebbia, because Delmonico has always been known for her ability to hold serve. She's been one of the really efficient serve and volleyer, which, you know, it's not just about the serve. It's about following in correctly to the net, making the hands play, good controlled volleys. Delmonico's more committed to backhand volleys, a little less decision making that she has to make. And the result is I think she executes that first volley really at a high level, where I think that's a little bit of a liability for Gebbia.
So with that said, is that maybe why they put Gebbia serving into the sun? Because it's tougher to do anyways? So you have your stronger server on the side where they can see?
I don't know. I don't know that that's why they did it. I would always go with my lead dog, personally.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they picked to return, so then the other team, you know, took the serve. So I'm just surprised it wasn't Delmonico, that's all. I don't think it had to do with the sun.
30-15.
Because you want your lead server every third game. Because how do you know how long any set is going to last?
That
so
makes sense.
I kind of like to go with that. So
Little long.
who's serving here, Billy?
We got Brett Davis serving at the top of your screen
Okay.
for the first time in this match. 30 all.
Even though this is early, this is a huge game. If Davis and Tansill can get that, go 3 up on Delmonico Gebbia. Huge pressure shift to Delmonico Gebbia.
Absolutely. And you can kind of see how Delmonico and Gebbia, maybe because they've never played this team, aren't exactly sure, you know, where to put the ball with their lobs, and they're also playing a lefty in the ad court. which I don't know, on the women's tour, are we seeing anybody lefty playing in the ad court?
Very few, but I don't even think that matters at this point. I think they're just not, they're making too many mistakes early in the point. That's all this is. You
Yep.
know, faults, missed return of serves.
Like that.
And I think it's important, we can't say it enough in platform tennis. You have an opportunity where just keep the ball in play. If you keep the ball in play, you put the other team in a position where they have to hit winners to beat you. Not that they just have to stand there and watch you miss. And so I think I think it's really important for Delmonico Gebbia minimize their unforced errors in the first, 5 points, 5 shots in any point here.
Right.
And just get into it.
We have to expect that they'll settle into this match and get, really settled in and start playing longer points. Delmonico will absolutely start lobbing higher, deeper, longer.
Yeah, and when they're ahead as a front-running team, they're pretty effective. When they get behind, this is where the grind they're going to have to really work as a team. They tend to kind of go solo a little bit if they get behind, and they've got to stick together as a team, kind of lean on each other and continue to build points, because over time that will work well for them. But you just got to slow it down altogether here if you're Delmonico Gebbia.
If you're Davis and Tansill, you have to be psyched. You're going out. You're not playing that many long points. You're getting some unforced errors, and you're up 3-0 against a top team in the country.
Yep. And so Gebbia, Delmonico taking a little time here, which is important for them as a team. Exactly to what I was just saying. They've got to be on the same page, because you win together or you go down together. So you've got to be, this is a game where you can be the tactical adjustments in a timely manner, save a million matches. And that's what they've got to figure it out now. They've played a couple games. They've been on the court for 10 minutes. They kind of see what the weapons are from these players. And I don't think it's about their weapons at this point. It's just about their errors.
Right. Great lob by Davis.
And we got to say, it's 82 degrees in West Orange, New Jersey. It is bloody warm out here.
That's true. We should talk about the weather. It is extraordinarily hot for paddle.
Yep, warm day. This is the kickoff event to the APTA Tour. The season starts here and ends here in New Jersey this year, because New Jersey proud to host the APTA National Championships in March this year. So lots of activity in the Garden State, always around platform tennis. And junior nationals, team nationals, open nationals. It's all going to be played in New Jersey.
Break point there for Davis and Tansill, just missed it. How many tournaments were coordinated just in the Montclair event today and yesterday?
We had 8 different tournaments, Billy. We've got 260 players. And let's do a quick little recap, Billy, if you would. We had a PTI
Sure, we had a
event, 50 to an 80 PTI event. And who were our winners and finalists in that?
The winners were Creed and Martirosian over Stern and Tintle in the 50 to 80 combination. In the PTI 80 to 110, we had Freeman and Wolf play and win over McGinty and Proscia. 4-0 Davis and Tansill. 2 breaks. Also yesterday we had the PTI women's 110 to 130, and Ewing and Vince won over Essenfeld and Mullins. And the last event yesterday, PTI 130 combined, we had Peterson and Scalzetti over Gordon and McDermott.
What's going on today on the men's side? What do we have?
Well, today we have the men's tour event, we have the women's tour event, and then we have a men's challenger draw that is also taking place, and as well as a men's 75-plus tournament.
All right. Action-packed Patty Topping, tournament director with the one and only Mick Iradoya. Patty is really the one and only amazing tournament director, one of the greatest on tour. She is just a master organizer. Montclair, beautiful, beautiful job. What a facility out here. We'll get the food trucks later, the bar set up. We had a great day yesterday for all the players, and the beauty of these events is players from minus 20 PTI all the way up to 80 PTI. There's something for everyone in these APTA Tour events like this, thanks to our tournament directors who have a willingness to take on so many tournaments and players, and makes for a weekend that includes so many players to kick off the paddle season.
Yeah, what a great way to start the year. Kudos to both of them for taking on that challenge.
All right, so 4-love first set here. You couldn't ask for a better start for Davis and Tansill here. We've never seen them, but we're never going to forget them now, because what a wonderful start against our eighth ranked team in the country, Delmonico Gebbia.
Hopefully Delmonico and Gebbia will use those first 4 games as some research and development, and buckle down and find some good spots to put those lobs and to put their drives. Good volley.
15-40.
Yeah, so Davis and Tansill are doing a good job, and they've got really good fundamental skills here that they can withstand the first, punch drive that gets delivered from Gebbia here in particular, and Delmonico, and they're handling that beautifully. And they're just not making errors from the net, and that's a key to holding serve for sure.
Absolutely, especially against these top teams who, Lauren Gebbia has a very big drive to make that first volley to settle in at net and now play this long point is huge. That's a tricky shot, way up high, looking right into the sun there for Lauren Gebbia.
So that's Carrie Delmonico, top of the screen in the deuce court. Lauren Gebbia, top of the screen in the ad court.
There's the first game.
Tansill leads 4-1, first set.
Corient is the official wealth sponsor of the APTA's 2025-26 season. Corient is a fee-only wealth manager who puts their clients at the center of everything they do. Learn more at corient.com. That's a very big game there for Delmonico and Gebbia, coming into a space where they're looking into the sun. A must-have game.
Must-have game, yeah. Something that we'll look for, there was a little bit of a longer point there, the lob. And Davis, as I noticed, when she goes back, she goes all out on that overhead. She's crushing it. I don't see that neutral is in her overhead repertoire yet, but it hasn't been needed either. But I think her being way off the net, beyond the service line, she should think about a neutral overhead versus unloading on that ball to Gebbia, because I think that'll feed into Gebbia's strengths over the course of this match. The sun is a little bit of an issue at this point, but the sun will move a little bit. So that's Lauren Gebbia serving. In the deuce court, hitting the return, that's Charlie Tansill. The lefty out of that court, Brett Davis. About to hit a return, Australian formation.
I think it's reversed there. The lefty is Tansill.
Lefty is
ad court.
Tansill?
Yep.
Sorry.
That's all right. Brett Davis is in the light blue skirt in the deuce.
Love 30.
Thank you. You see Gebbia
Giving up the net.
showed some respect, stayed back. I like the play because Gebbia and Delmonico can play baseline all day long.
I do too, looking into the sun and missed your first 2 volleys in the first, to get to love 30. Stay back, get in the point, get to the 5th shot.
Yeah, good scramble from Gebbia to cover a shot hit behind Delmonico.
Great return from Charlie Tansill. Huge forehand. Lob long.
Wow.
5-1 Davis Tansill on an unforced error off Gebbia's racket.
I think Gebbia clearly expected, because she had stayed back, that her opponents would move in, and they didn't, and it just seemed like she hesitated in hitting the shot.
got caught in the 50-50 decision making. That's one of the first unforced errors I've seen her make. You know what else I like to see from Davis and Tansill is when they lose that point, get down love 15, so far they have almost always backed it up by winning the next point. So, you know, they're never giving Delmonico and Gebbia that 2 point, that love 30, that 15-40. Mentally, that's massive.
Delmonico to hit the return here. You know, you have the lefty and the righty. Here they go. You know, it took them a couple to switch. And all lefties and righties will switch to get their forehand overheads in the middle, obviously, as soon as they can when they're playing a point from the net.
Just something you don't see that often from Delmonico.
82 degrees. You know, she was trying to get that lob up high, try to get a look for Lauren, because Lauren is just the offensive machine, loves striking the ball off her two-hander or her forehand. And so Delmonico's trying to get her some looks here.
Good spot drive by Gebbia there.
Took advantage of a little bit of a shorter serve. And that's the thing. Gebbia can break you down as a volleyer. See what I'm talking about, like the sound of the ball from Davis and Tansill. It's pretty consistent. They crush a lot of the overheads. That's where I just love to see the use of a little bit of finesse, neutral kinds of shots sometimes.
Great pickup volley by Charlotte Tansill. Set point.
Wow. Shocking first set here, Billy.
I would love to see Tansill get a little closer to net here on Gebbia's return.
Yeah, we'll see if she makes that adjustment. Gebbia's beaten her at her feet before, and Gebbia has that shot. So that's where she could adjust her position if it happens too much.
Wow. There's the first set, 6-1.
We'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel with live streaming provided by ProFlight and Steambox Labs.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We are live here from Montclair at the Montclair Open in West Orange, New Jersey, with quarterfinal action between our number 8 team in the country, Kerry Delmonico and Lauren Gebbia, who just had a surprise first set outcome here. They have never played against Brett Davis and Charlie Tansill, and Charlie Tansill and Brett Davis showed up big time, played a really clean first set and won it 6-1. I'm Patty Hogan along with Billy Horn calling the action.
Yeah, what a first set by Tansill and Davis. Very, very few unforced errors. Specifically impressed by their first volleys. Hitting them deep and forcing Gebbia and Delmonico to go to lobs and getting the net. What adjustments do you think we can see from Delmonico Gebbia?
Well, they've got to figure out a way to hold serve. Gebbia didn't hold serve in that set, and even Delmonico, who has a really strong history of holding serve, really controlling, dictating play off of it, struggled on her games as well. And all the credit to Davis and Tansill. You know, like we said, this is the first time I've ever seen them play. They're keeping a ton of balls in play, and they're not hurting themselves here. They're letting Delmonico and Gebbia hurt themselves, really. And like I said, they stand up well to the pressure that Gebbia and Delmonico are showing them early in the point. And then it's just, you know, you get past those first couple of shots, then I think they have settled into this match beautifully, and it's a pick-em. I think the teams are all even at that point. I think we're not seeing Gebbia win any easy points off her return to serve, and we're not seeing Delmonico, you know, I think it's so warm that she's struggling to kind of get her feel, and usually she's a sequential player in that she hits a series of shots that are kind of known to us now, and it might be a chip low and a chip high and a chip over, where she really moves around her opponents like chess pieces, I would say. But it's just warm, and they're in a little bit of a struggle here in this match. I always think, Billy, is that you got to hold serve. You've got to, you know, or you've got to break immediately. I think the momentum that they got early in this match was huge.
Agreed. I just think that Delmonico and Gebbia have to figure out what they want to do with Tansill's forehand return to serve. Here comes a break point off of an overhead. Gebbia's got to get that energy level up, move those feet, get some positive energy. Oh, missed return by Tansill. Put that one in play.
And you see the adjustment that Delmonico and Gebbia did make. No more Lauren serving first. Carrie took over the serving. And this is a monumental game for them. I think if they hold here, then you can stop worrying about the first set in terms of their play.
Right.
I think they can just play it like now the match is starting over and we're up 1-love, that's it. That's all they think about.
Right, new set, new match.
And see right there, you know, a little bit of hesitation on that middle ball, which is going to happen between a lefty and a righty. And it happened right there. And Delmonico and Gebbia just kept the ball in play. And it's the first kind, you know, that's the first little chink in the armor from Davis and Tansill, I would say.
A little unforced error, which we didn't see a lot of in the first set. I still like that Davis and Tansill are getting the opportunities. Surprising, considering Gebbia and Delmonico have so much experience and have always been a top team.
Right, and you know, but the swing that she just got on that ball, you know, that was a great look for Davis.
Right, she loves that two-handed backhand.
And I think the depth of Delmonico's and Gebbia's overheads volleys, they've got to pay a little bit more attention to that, because these girls are mighty comfortable playing from the baseline forward, and you got to, you know, depth is always the key to kind of negate some of those offensive skills. We have a whole day of streaming, Billy, and we have 2 streaming vendors here. So fun with ProFlight and SBL Labs, Steambox Labs, so that we're able to bring everybody at home around the country. You can watch all the quarters, you know, men's and women's. This is the first time that we've ever been able to, APTA has been able to do that.
All 4 quarterfinals for the women and all 4 quarterfinals for the men?
You got it. Everything can be shown. And APTA has made a huge commitment to the live streaming. 25% of the APTA budget goes toward covering the cost of live streaming our sport.
They broke early. Davis and Tansill have the break. And Gebbia and Delmonico are switching to the sunny side.
You know, this is early in the season. Delmonico, Gebbia, they're not a team that necessarily plays a ton of practice matches together, I would say, throughout the season. They both teach platform tennis. Carrie is helping out in Summit, New Jersey, where we have some new public access courts, which I'm thrilled about. And Carrie lives right down the street from those paddle courts. I think that's why she bought a house there. And so she's helping there. Lauren's doing a great job over at Englewood Field Club. So they're super active with their teaching and working, and Carrie actually has a real job. But so they're just not a team that gets that much on-court practice time.
Right.
And sometimes that definitely hurts them.
Right, and that first match that they played today, the one before was a 0-0 match. So, you know, how many touches of the ball do you get? Where Davis and Tansill played 2 matches prior to this one, getting a few more reps together earlier. Little long.
Little long. Little shout out to Riley Stulak. Hi, Riley, if you're watching your mom, and to Blake and Nicholas, Lauren Gebbia's kids. They've gotten to watch their moms a lot as they've grown, as they're starting to grow up. Gebbia is a former college tennis player from Boston College. Up your way, Bailey Horn.
Way up at BC.
Oh, yeah.
30-15.
Some good tennis up there.
Yeah.
Are we seeing Delmonico and Gebbia switch return sides? I believe Delmonico is now in the ad. Gebbia in the deuce.
Yep, I think that's a good play for them. I think you got to try everything. When it's not going your way, and sometimes Delmonico feels like she can be more creative out of that ad court and creating looks for Gebbia's forehand. So we'll see how that works.
Davis hitting that serve. Nice return by Gebbia. Still game point for Davis and Tansill, though. To go up 2-0 in the second set. Very low contact serve from Brett Davis. Hard to hit. Low to the feet.
So this is what I kind of expected. Delmonico Gebbia. Delmonico loves, from the back of the screen as we can see, she's the player in the black, the dark clothes. She loves being in that left side position.
Lets her influence the point a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. You know, she plays a different, a little bit of a different style from the ad court from a lot of the other players. She'll play deep in the corner. She'll block a lot of shots, try to take time away from her opponents. So we'll see how this second set develops. See, this is Gebbia. Boom, boom, boom. Power and moving forward.
Yep. Taking advantage of a shorter volley by Brett Davis that time.
Yep, this would be a gigantic break. Delmonico's way over to the side of the court there, way inside the baseline. About to return.
First bit of pressure by Delmonico Gebbia. 1-1.
All right, Tansill was broken once in the first set. First break on Davis.
Gebbia had a little bit of problem serving from this side in the first set. We'll see if she can consolidate that break.
Delmonico Gebbia lost quarters of nationals last year to Hanish Zabori. Short Hills Invitational, which was a Grand Prix last year. They went out earlier than they would have liked in the 16s. They were semifinalists at Ridgewood, Long Island, the Lake Invitational, and they were quarterfinalists at Aronimink and the Baltimore Open.
Very consistent results, always in the quarterfinals, semifinals.
Yeah, and they don't, like I said, they don't get that much practice in together, and I think that would be the it factor for them to get back into making more semis and possibly a final, because they were always in the semis for a long time.
Yeah, Gebbia is still having problems on serve on this side with the sun.
I almost think they should both start back and just play the baseline and let it go.
Not worry about the transition game coming off of Tansill and Davis's return. Just both back, take away a big return.
Well, it just seems, it's nice to leave Carrie Delmonico on top of the net to kind of force the return away from her a little bit, but I don't see that it's playing out to the Gebbia's advantage at all. And I think we're not seeing Davis and Tansill automatically come up to the net, so that almost is a little off-putting in a way for Gebbia. Like, she doesn't have a comfort zone right there in that situation.
2-1, Davis, Tansill. Tansill to serve. As a lefty serving into the sun. She's been doing pretty well, handling it a little bit better, a little bit easier, considering the lefty.
So we mentioned New Jersey Nationals this year. Kennewick will host that event March 6th, 7th, and 8th. APTA Tour will have 5 Grand Prix this year instead of 4, Billy. Just more bigger draws at a bigger event. Points are doubled in value at the Grand Prix events. And we have so many proven venues in the sport who do a tremendous job hosting. So hard, almost impossible for the APTA to narrow it down to just 4. So they've gone with 5 this year. More opportunities for more players to get into the main draw. That's why we have a men's challenger going today, because with the draw size limited slightly, there's so many really good players who kind of get boxed out because they don't have a ton of ranking points or new combinations. I noticed Martin Bostrom's in the Challenger flight, among others.
I saw that. I think Carrie Delmonico's husband is also playing
Mike
that.
Stulak. Team Nationals this year, like we said, hosted men and women. This year the men will be in New Jersey, and that will be March 28th and 29th. The women's will be out in Chicago. The one and only Mike Raleigh will run that event April 11th and 12th. Those are open to all PTI levels, Billy, and such a fun team event that makes Team Nationals truly the most exciting, I think, and enjoyable event by so many players. Over 1,000 players last year played in Team Nationals, Billy.
I think it's one of the most consistently touted events by men and women in my area that I teach. They're always really excited to go out. Again, it's open to all levels. So, you have PTIs down, where the 50s, 60s, and everybody's got a spot in that event. Delmonico and Gebbia have set themselves up for another break.
Why not 4 breaks in a row to start the second set, Billy?
Why not? Warm weather paddle. Hard to hold serve.
Next up for the APTA Tour, we'll go to Medina. We have the women playing on the Friday, October 18th, and the men will be playing on a one-day event on Saturday, the 19th. Then the tour goes to Baltimore. After that, the first Grand Prix of the year will be held out at the Chicago Charities, November 7th, 8th, and 9th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then right after Chicago, the next weekend will be the Cleveland Masters event, and then we go to Thanksgiving. So the tour starts off hot and heavy from the beginning. Every weekend except next weekend, we have a tour event for everybody to enjoy from home.
Fast and furious start to the season. Lob long to get back to deuce. Davis and Tansill get back to deuce after 2 break points. If they hold this, it must be real frustrating.
Yeah, if they hold, I know where my money's going. I'm not a betting kind of gal, but Billy, if people are wanting to know how the other matches are progressing, what do they do? How do they find out all scores? Can you lead them, a court director? Can you tell them about that app that the APTA has for
The APTA is an app, started last year. It's called Court Director, and it allows you to track scores from all the live streaming matches and matches throughout the tournament, I believe, not just live streamed. And it's point to point. It's not just saying the set score. You get the 30 alls and the 1540s. It's a great addition, I think, for the person at home and you know, the average viewer to track everything going on.
Yeah, it's a great tool APTA has done to really keep everybody, you know, up to date on all the scores in every tournament. Really fun to be able to look it up on the spot.
Davis and Tansill in that last game, they come back from 1540, they hold serve 3-1.
Yep. Delmonico's serving. Delmonico's been broken twice already in this match in the first game of this set. If there's ever a time for a hold, it's right now.
Gotta be now. That's a risky overhead there by Gebbia. She made it though. So you can see Delmonico and Gebbia starting to go, well, not that one, but starting to go a little more to Brett Davis's side. But Brett's doing a great job putting her lobs up high and mostly down the line.
Davis and Tansill played last year in the Nationals, Billy, didn't they?
They did play in the Nationals last year, and they lost to Bukian and Mihalovic in the round of 32, I believe.
They play any other tournaments?
They played Short Hills as well, the Short Hills Grand Prix and the Long Island Women's Tour event.
Who beat them at Short Hills?
Short Hills, they lost to Bill Meyer and Blinn in a very, very close match. And then in the Long Island event, they lost to Baruch and Nube.
Again, a lot of staying back today for Delmonico. Gebbia, the ball's just sitting up high, and you know, the firepower that both Davis and Tansill possess is enough that it's off-putting to them. They're just not comfortable coming in on that first volley. First volley is the toughest shot in the sport, I think, Billy.
It is. I think staying back's it's not the wrong idea. It just looks like when Delmonico and Gebbia get back, they're not demonstrating the amount of patience that they typically show out there. There's a lot of unforced errors being made on their side, which is surprising. But again, early in the season, haven't touched the ball quite a lot. Here's a break point from Davis and Tansill.
Yep, and it is so warm, and that really hurts. I think that hurts Delmonico's game the most. I mean, I know I haven't seen these other women play that much, but it hurts her because it's so hard to control the ball.
Absolutely. Break a serve, Davis and Tansill, 4-1 second set.
And so that's where, you know, you have to decide. You have different formations. You throw in the kitchen sink at this point if you're Delmonico and Gebbia. You know, do you stand Australian? Do you play over? You know, do you play I? You have all different options for what to do. But the reality is, if they're not serving well enough to kind of negate the explosiveness of the return of serves from Davis and Tansill, then I think they're both better. They're better off both going back to the baseline. Just eliminate that problem spot that is clear in this match.
If you're looking here, you see Brett Davis and Tansill taking their time on this changeover. Delmonico just walked over straight to the baseline. And Gebbia, it doesn't look like they've checked in that much with each other. You'd love to see them get together and say, let's do this. It's 4-1. We're really only down, you know, a small amount. We can come back from this. We got the skills, but they're apart. You know.
But right, and they've got to play it as a team. So I see that they're down 10-2, and there's a huge gap that's even bigger right now because they're just not on the same page. They haven't figured out a tactical approach that is impacting Davis and Tansill at all. And all the credit to Davis and Tansill.
Absolutely.
Super
Absolutely.
solid match they're playing here. They've got nice offensive weapons, and they don't shoot themselves in the foot, Billy. They keep the ball in play.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of neutralizing any offense you've seen from Gebbia and Delmonico with those volleys, and really clearly frustrating them. Yeah.
30-15.
Indecision there by Lauren Gebbia, wanting to pull the trigger, knowing that Brett Davis has been volleying well, kind of in between lob and drive.
And you know, the temperature, that high bounce, that ball's sitting there, it almost, you know, it's impacting her timing, you know, her normal timing on her ground strokes.
Oh.
40-15.
Feel that frustration there. It was a good return by Delmonico. The ball sat up for a short. Just that kind of a day right now. See if we can find that energy, Delmonico and Gebbia.
Really impressed with Tansill and Davis's fundamentals here. You know, rock solid ground strokes. They keep the ball in play. They keep like a decent amount of pressure on Gebbia and Delmonico at all times in this match.
Made it. Made that little shared volley there. Cheers.
And that's where they were both way off the net.
Tansill, they lead 5 games to 1.
You know, Gebbia had the short ball of life right there, and she's got to pick a better spot. She had some available lanes to hit, and she's got to recognize that.
To bring up a Jerryism, the water feels like it's going down the drain here, Patty. Haven't.
Billy, it's all you. You got to be an original person.
I know it.
Bring up your own
But
descriptions.
it's so
Jerry
appropriate.
always says that and lived on it. What are you going to live on?
It's so appropriate here, though. I'll find my way.
Yeah, you will. But again, I can't emphasize enough. This is all about Tansill and Davis. This has very little to do about Delmonico and Gebbia in this match. They're just playing a rock-solid match, Tansill and Davis. A lot of respect for their game. And like I said, I see so many people who come on tour and they come up against these higher-ranked players and they take themselves out of the matches because they try to win points, where I feel like these guys just went in with the right approach. Keep the ball in play, hit our shots, play our game, and they've done it to a T.
Yeah, they play smart, steady, confident paddle. And you see Brett Davis driving that ball. She's not trying to drive it for a winner. She's trying to drive it to create a volley and create misdirection. Very impressed with them. Triple match point for Davis and Tansill.
Game, set, match. Davis, Tansill, 6-1, 6-1.
So, Billy, this team that took out Macy Elliott just took out Delmonico Gebbia. Welcome to the paddle world. You know, Brett Davis and Charlie Tansill, just phenomenal first match here for us to watch. And Billy, that was really fun, interesting to see new players come on and just really take it to the country's number 8 ranked team of Delmonico Gebbia. Not their finest outing, but we'll focus on the positive. Tansill and Davis, welcome to the semifinals of the Montclair Open. We're going to wrap it up here from women's quarterfinal action. We'll be back at 1:30. Stay tuned for our next match. Will be some men's quarterfinal action. Thanks, Billy.
Thanks, Patty.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. and our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
Done. Great job. Hey, good stuff to you.
Patty, good
job. Yeah, a lot of fun. You guys look great out there. How long have you been playing?
Who, me? Oh, I've been playing my whole life. How about you?
Wow, I only started playing when I retired.
Someone say retired?
Looking good out there, Eli.
Thank you.